Greetings and thank you for tuning in to My Journey with Paula G. We'd like to thank our underwriters, Creek Dental Incorporated, The Good Acting Studio in Mario Good, My Coffee Shop in East Lake, Dr. Paul and Marcia Kelly, PTI Bible College, and Survival Radio Network, Clicks Photography and Clark Garrison, Lusu Designs with Brandon Sampson, and Positive Power Double Side Christian Media, and Jerry Rose Live Worldwide, and Doozy African Clothing. We hope you enjoy this presentation and embrace the journey with Paula G.
Welcome to My Journey with Paula G right here on WATC TV 57. This season is coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. Positive Power 21 and Paula G Unlimited LLC are taping this season here in Atlanta, Georgia, and we want to thank our newest underwriters for this season, Creekside Dental and the Good Acting Studio. Thank you all so very much for your support. This week we have an inspiration from Miss Summer Pearsons, and her inspiration is: give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks, y'all, to the Lord, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever. So I hope that has encouraged someone today. Well, my guest this week is a young lady. She is an entrepreneur. She is a motivational presenter. She's an author, and she is a woman that is on a journey, and she's going to share that journey with us today. Please welcome Angela Marshall to My Journey with Paula G. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Paula.
You know, this is so exciting. Anytime that, we have individuals, especially women, that are on the show that have been on a journey. Maybe they have lived one life at one season in their life, and certain things happen, certain things change, and those seasons change. They begin to walk in a different path. So share with us what has inspired this journey for you.
I definitely will. My platform is the story and life of an ex-NFL wife.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say, though, that I went from woman of the world to woman of the word, and that's what inspired this journey. So many successes and struggles and trials and testimonies from all walks of life in my life, just different areas, from reality to rags to riches. Like the book that I wrote, The Story and Life of an Ex-NFL Wife. And I just figured that if I was going through so many different trials and mountains and valleys in my life, that other people were going through it too. And I just needed to share my story. So that's why.
Can you share some of those trials, some of those things that you went through, that you overcome, that somebody else can maybe relate to?
Absolutely. So being, in this supposed lifestyle of lavish, where people think that money or materialistic things equal love, they do not. So whereas people were, was thinking that I was living in this lavish, I was actually living in lack. So that was lack of love, lack of liberty, lack of, laughter, for that matter. So I just wanted people to know that, even though you are surrounded by a bunch of superficial things, that does not mean that you're happy. And I was not happy. Yes. For many, many years, I was not happy. And it had nothing to do with the NFL, had nothing to do with my ex-husband at the time. It was solely and purely just Angela not defining who Angela was. Woman of the world. So this woman of the word knows who she is.
Yes.
Yeah, totally different.
So where do you think that came from? Not being able to define or not define. What do you think the root of that is? Because I think a lot of times it's so important. We transition to a new space in our life. But, we sometimes don't necessarily go back and kind of examine that root. And I think that's very encouraging and helpful to someone. What do you feel was the root of that?
Well, for me, it was just feeling neglect from a situation in my personal life with my biological mother. So once we had an opportunity to speak before she passed in 2013, and I got a lot of closure from some things that I was feeling, it set me free.
Wow.
It set me free. And so I then began on this journey to help liberate others. And matter of fact, that's what I jokingly and seriously say, that I've been sent here to illuminate, to motivate, to celebrate, and liberate others.
Wow. That is really huge. What do you feel has been one of the greatest lessons during that journey? And I know there have been a lot, but can you maybe identify one that you feel has really been a greatest lesson for you?
I will say that when I tell my mind something, I believe it. It believes it. And, I didn't know that I had as much control over my mind as I do. Like, if I tell my mind I'm happy, I'm happy.
Yes.
If I tell my mind be mad, I'm mad.
Yes.
I just had no idea that I could actually control my emotions and my feelings the way that I do. So that has been one of the greatest lessons for me, and then even one of the greatest growth and evolution pieces for me also.
And I think that's huge. What you've shared is huge, because, as we have heard on a previous show, we were talking about the power to choose, how we all have the power to choose. And like you said, you don't even realize,
Yes.
but when that revelation comes, you're able to realize that it's like, oh my gosh, I have the power to choose my own destiny, who I'm going to be, the woman I'm going to be, and just kind of
Make a decision.
Yeah, make a decision and just kind of,
decide.
wrap yourself around that. So for you, knowing who you were before and who you are now, and sometimes you may sit back and think, like they say, late in the midnight hour. What would you tell? What would the Angela of today tell the Angela of yesterday, who may not have known there would even be an Angela of today? Knowing what you know now, what would you reach back and tell her?
I would tell her, when you check your baggage of the past, do not go back and claim it.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, you can have it.
Yeah.
That's yours, girl.
No,
That's
yours.
yours.
That's yours.
That's Paula's journey, my journey with Paula G.
When you
have it.
check your baggage.
When you check your baggage from the past, do not go back and claim it.
Wow.
That's what I would tell myself now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think at that time, though, she would have understood that? Do you think she would have heard that?
Yes.
She would have received
Oh,
that?
yeah. Oh, yeah, because I lived for the past, for many, many years. So, yeah.
Wow.
She would get it. She's smart.
She's smart. She would get that.
That's
wow.
right.
Well, share with our audience, before we go any further, just share with our audience your social media. We're going to continue this conversation, but I want to make sure that you share your social media, website, that sort of thing.
They can just Google Angela Marshall, Augusta, Georgia, and it will give them to all the links. My personal website, every social media outlet, any way that they want to contact me. Angela Marshall, Augusta, Georgia.
Augusta, Georgia.
Yep.
It's really so good, and I always enjoy doing this show and having these conversations, because it is so encouraging to someone who's watching, who may be in the position that you were in, and that is seeing you on the other side of this journey, and they're inspired, they're motivated that, wow, I can rise up out of where I am, into a new space, because I have the power to choose.
That's right. From spectator to motivator.
I have the power to choose who I am and where I'm going. And we're going to come back. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. But when we come back, I want you to share a little bit more about your book. You've written a book, an author, so share with us a bit about your book, the journey to just writing the book itself, because that's a journey in itself.
Yes.
Just writing a book, and having those mental blocks sometimes. I want you to share that journey with us. We are talking with Angela Marshall. We're going to take a break, but we're talking with Angela Marshall about her life journey and some of the challenges that she's been through. She's an entrepreneur, she's a motivational presenter, she's an author, and she's here sharing with us her journey of transformation into the Angela Marshall that she is today. So sit tight, stay tuned. This is My Journey with Paula G. We'll be back in a moment.
Whatever I want, I got it, 'cause God's got it. Whatever you need, you can have it, 'cause God's got it. Don't let your heart be dismayed. Wipe your tears from your eyes, don't be afraid. Come on and trust Him. Believe Him. There's power in the name of Jesus. Come on and call Him. In spite of all, there's no greater name than Jesus. Whatever I want, I got it, 'cause God's got it. Whatever you need, you can have it, 'cause God's got it.
Faith is the evidence of things not seen. If you know His name, stamp it on your green. I heard the measure of a man is shown through how many seeds he has sown. In the name of the Holy Grace, say you born again, so you can't still be acting the same. Can't expect something to change. If you never switch the game, realize you second in your lane, but the one who leads the grain is the Almighty. So gain your confidence and take a stand. It's time for you, stick to the plan. I know it's hard, but understand that you can't fathom how we sent his son to die for all these sins. And that's how we begin on a narrow path leading to heaven. It's time that you start to believe, cause once you do, I know you'll see that even rain is meant for glee, because it's holy water sprinkling down to turn your mustard seed into the highest, strongest tree of life. Lord, I know I need your might. Lord, I know this not my fight. Lord, I'm trusting you tonight to really do this something bright.
I got it, cause God's got whatever you need.
Whatever I want,
I can have it, cause God's got it. Don't let your heart be dismayed. Wipe your tears from your eyes, don't be afraid. Lord, you said in your word that you would pour me out a blessing. You would pour me out a blessing. Lord, you said in your word that you would pour me out a blessing. You would pour me out a blessing. Whatever I want, I got it, cause God's got it. Whatever you need, you can have it, cause God's got it. Whatever I want, I got it, cause God's got it. Whatever you need, you can have it, cause God's got it. Whatever I want, I got it, cause God's got it. Whatever you need, you can have it, cause God's got it. Whatever I want, I got it, cause God's got it. Whatever you need.
We are back, and this is My Journey with Paula G, and we are just having a awesome and encouraging conversation with Miss Angela Marshall. She's been sharing a bit of her journey with us, and also you've shared a bit about your support system and how important how important is a support system when you are just on a journey of new discovery and moving in a new direction?
I will say this: we need to always make sure that in our circles we have links and not kinks.
Mm-hmm.
And my support system is of links.
Yes.
They hold me up, they connect me,
Mm-hmm.
they reroute me.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it. They keep me grounded,
Mm-hmm.
and always has from a little girl, even as I navigated through the NFL lifestyle. I always tell people that even for my two children,
Mm-hmm.
I would always get accolades that, you know, they didn't act like your average spoiled celebrity children, and
Right.
my family was, you know, a little bit more rooted, but
Mm-hmm.
it comes from my strong support system, just, you know, really instilling in me how to behave, the morals and values, you know, that make me not only be a person who is good while being served, but also being able to serve others.
Yeah, and you know, and even, you know, looking at like our young people today, you know, you can really tell sometimes when someone has a good support system and when they don't have a good support system. So it's really important and just, you know, just really, really valuable. What do your children think about the journey that you're on?
Well, my son is a little quiet
Mm-hmm.
and a little reserved, as he was even when his dad, my ex, played in the NFL. It didn't really get to him like it did my daughter. My daughter is a little bit more worldly, so
Yeah.
she's enjoying the ride. But also, I have three beautiful grandsons, and one of my grandsons is truly enjoying the ride. Like every time he sees me on TV or interview, he's like, "My Nunu's famous." So they don't call me grandmother; they call me Nunu. Affectionately, and so he's like, "Oh, I tell everybody like my Nunu is famous."
Oh,
and then on my son's side, I have two grandboys as well, and one of them actually they were supposed to do Black History Month. They were supposed to do famous people, and he actually did his report on me.
Oh, that
So
is
I was
precious.
honored. Yeah, I was
Yes.
definitely honored and humble. I would have done it on Michelle Obama, but hey, I'll take that.
Right,
Yeah, I'll
right.
take that. But yeah, they're my children are just as supportive as everyone else in my family. It's just been an amazing journey for me, and I will say this: there are a lot of times when the people, my support system, and my children have actually believed in myself more than I believed
More
in
than
me.
you believed in
Yeah.
yourself.
And I can't, with that, I can't give up. I tell others, one of the things that one of the goals that I have in this life is that every seed that has been sown and planted into me, before I take my last breath, I'm going to make sure that it blooms. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm dedicated to that.
Yeah, that is awesome. Now, do you have any of the, because I know sometimes when we transition and we move into another, being of who we are, we may take some people from the past with us, and others we may have to leave behind. How have your relationships in general, as far as friends and things of that nature?
So I will leave you with two thoughts. One, it's not lonely at the top. You just lose a few people as you grow. And then, when you have success and struggles,
Yes.
they actually show you who your friends are.
Yes.
So
that's true.
Yeah, so that has been
Yeah.
taught to me over and over and over again. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I lost a few people or like they lost me. I think it was just the end of my journey for them and their journey with me.
Transition,
Yeah.
time of transition.
That's right.
So tell us about your book.
So the story in life of an ex-NFL wife, I had been journaling for a while. During my marriage, I was silenced, not by anyone in particular, just myself. I just kind of muted myself. I can't really explain why. It just happened.
Yes.
And so I would journal. I wrote, in different books. And so the book was really written already. All I had to do was just kind of take it, my thoughts, take it to a publisher, take it to an editor, and then they just made the magic come to life on paper for me, or, through the words, if you would. But the book, I just kind of, I don't know, one day I just got tired, I guess, of sitting on the sidelines and being on the bench and watching myself just merely exist while everybody else lived.
Wow.
And I just said, hey, I'm getting off the bench, I'm getting in the game.
Right.
And that's why I turned myself from invisible woman to invincible woman. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's now the process of going from writing it and publishing, and that's a process in itself. Were there any challenges along that way, or that was able to be a smooth transition?
Well, it was smooth because, I knew that I did not know how to do that, so I paid other people to do it.
Yeah.
So they say, you got to go whoever the subject matter expert is. That was not my field. My field was writing it. It was getting all of my thoughts and my feelings out, my emotions out about it. So I had two things to do. One, reveal, expose my feelings and my life. And then two, be okay with it being exposed to the world.
Wow.
And I am. Either way. I truly believe that my journey is one that is helpful and it's not hurtful.
Right.
So I'm good with the world knowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a woman of the word, what word do you have?
What
to
word do I
inspire?
have to inspire? Ooh, that will be, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
Yes.
All things, all. And sometimes I do waver a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't have fear. But one thing I do a lot quicker is I replace that fear with faith. Yeah.
Yeah, just be grounded in that
That's
that
it.
faith, and
That's right.
to stay focused, on that faith. So what are like 4 things that you can share with someone who may be on the other side to help encourage them to make that transition, to walk into who it is that they are?
I would say, 1, be true to who you are. Be ready to leave who you were.
I like that.
Yeah, be ready to leave who you were. Be true to who you are. Be ready to leave who you were. Don't let anyone confine you to who you were. And I think the last one would probably be stay in your lane, but always be ready to switch gears as you elevate.
I like that. Stay in your lane, but switch gears
As you elevate. That's right.
And can you share with us, our time goes so quickly always, share with us your website and social media.
Yes, so the social media is, again, Angela Marshall, or either The Story and Life of an Ex-NFL Wife. And my website is In Other Words by Stone.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know that you all were encouraged today, as you are each and every episode, as we have guests that share their journey of overcoming. And our previous guest, that ING, we're always overcoming because we're always going through something in life. As long as we're living and breathing, there is something that each and every one of us are going through. Each and every one of you has a journey. Each and every one of you has a story inside of you. Each and every one of you has a book inside of you. I encourage you to embrace your journey, the highs, the lows. Keep God first. Stay focused. Use wisdom. Use discernment. Stay focused on what it is that He has for you to do, and embrace your journey. This is My Journey with Paula G. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good job.
All right.
Let Jesus take control. I think I need a little calibration. I'ma let Jesus take control. I think I need a little calibration. I'ma let Jesus take control. I think I need a little calibration. I'ma let Jesus take control. I think I need a little calibration. I'ma let Jesus take control. I'm going in a different direction. Tired of mediocre, seeking perfection. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm saved for life. Who says that a Christian can't turn up? All the glory, all the praise to Jesus. I think I need a little calibration. $100 pockets and billionaire relation. When I say praise, you say praise Him. Praise Him. Praise Him. When I say praise, you say praise Him. Praise Him. Praise Him. I think I need a little calibration. I'ma let you.
Greetings and thank you for tuning in to My Journey with Paula G. We'd like to thank our underwriters, Creek Dental Incorporated, The Good Acting Studio in Mario Good, My Coffee Shop in East Lake, Dr. Paul and Marcia Kelly, PTI Bible College, and Survival Radio Network, Clicks Photography and Clark Garrison, Lusu Designs with Brandon Sampson, and Positive Power Double Side Christian Media, and Jerry Rose Live Worldwide, and Doozy African Clothing. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and embrace the journey with Paula G.